preseason is here. A fourth exhibition game is a thing of the past. It's the Pats and the Titans, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Tonight, the final dress rehearsal, week 3 of the preseason. And we got a good matchup on tap, as it'll be the New England Patriots taking on the Tennessee Titans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Well, the Patriots offense set to go to work with Mac Jones at quarterback in his 3rd season now out of Alabama.
It was a much rockier season for Jones in his 2nd year, and he even had to survive a brief challenge to his starting job. This is a big campaign for the former Rookie of the Year runner-up. He wants to get back to Pro Bowl form in this one. Here we go.
A 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Here's Ramondre Stevenson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 29 yards, first down. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. That tackle by Jeffrey Simmons. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
Now Jones. 20! And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Stevenson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 5, 2nd and 4. Again, it's Stevenson. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Ramondre Stevenson A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was polished off by a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown run. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And it's a pretty good return here, so get this up to the 29. Well, the Titans ready to take over on offense for the first time, and it is the now 35-year-old Ryan Tannehill who leads them out in his 12th NFL campaign.
Those who expected Ryan Tannehill to go quietly into the night after the Titans drafted Will Levis, well, they clearly don't know this man well at all. He's a fighter and former comeback player of the year and expects to have his best season yet as a pro in this campaign.
The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Tannehill. That pass taken in by Burks. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. Now on 4th down, here's Ryan Stonehouse to punt for Tennessee. The all-pro return man Marcus Jones deep for New England. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They run once more with Stevenson. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Now 3rd down and 7. Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Devontae Parker, 77 yards. And the Patriots have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Folk. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And Devontae Parker able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. They find some open field here. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. A shotgun handoff to Henry. Anthony Jennings in that time defensively.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basics.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Jawan Bentley, the one to get in and finish off the play.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. New England's offense set to go. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here we go.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jones. That one on the money to Bourne downfield. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 42. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To the right side, this is Stevenson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
That is caught. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 25 yards that time.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Straight ahead, it's Stevenson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle there by Ben Neiman.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Juju Smith-Schuster, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On first down, Henry going to be swallowed up in the backfield as he'll wind up losing about 3.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll try the right side with Henry. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11. At the Patriots' 42-yard line.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 3rd down, Henry. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. It has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
3rd and 2, Tannehill. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Juwan Bentley. And the Patriots are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The end result, 21 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 21-0 our score after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. From the 29, Jones finding Bourne here over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 18. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. Boy, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. And we'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to throw. Jones. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots are able to add on to their first half lead. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0 Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them. So I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Tennessee offense set to go again. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
Here we go.
Now a handoff. Stevenson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
Looking to throw. Jones. Open receiver here. Complete. It's Parker. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need to.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson, ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Pats open the lead up to 34-0. Extra point up and good by Folk. And that makes this 35-0 now.
Titans nothing. Nick Folk to kick off for New England.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Tannehill. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here's Jones. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Patriots take over. Possession back to the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson headed out with the offense. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in a zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A give for Stevenson, running right. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the 2nd quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the 3rd quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the 3rd quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the 4th quarter.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans 19. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, it's Stevenson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 82 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this 1st half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Stevenson will take this one in. Touchdown, Patriots. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Folk connects on the extra point, and it is 42-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was polished off by a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown run. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Out come the Titans now. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it again with Henry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage. And now 3rd and 11 coming up. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the 1st half.
Jones on the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. New England trying to get a place on offense. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
Well, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 38-yard line.
Bourne going to go in motion left. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He's up to 70 yards now in this 1st half receiving as he's got a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here we go, here we go.
On the handoff, Stevenson. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 115 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to Stevenson on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Bad news, they didn't get it on second down. The good news is they still only need about 3 or 4 inches here on third.
And the good play callers have looked at both situations. They thought to themselves, okay, this call, I pick up the first down, already ready with that call. If I don't, this is what I'm going to come back with in order to pick it up.
They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Here's Stevenson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And they'll run the toss here with Stevenson. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Ramondre Stevenson on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Patriots are pouring it on. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And the route is on here in this first half.
Titans, nothing. Nick Folk to kick off for New England.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And no run back here for more. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. The Titans now just about ready to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Tannehill. And he's got the hook up to Moore. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Offense gets set to go, and there's Ramondre Stevenson. You see the numbers, all those carries. If you get that many carries in the drive, you better finish it with a touchdown, and he did.
Yeah, and deservedly so, right? Because we've seen times like the Carolina Panthers, sometimes Jonathan Stewart to carry the ball all the way down, and then Cam, he's such a great goal line runner, he'll carry it in. But in this case, though, that didn't happen. the fellow lugging the load, he's the one who got to reap the reward.
Yeah, there was no touchdown vulture here. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They run once more with Stevenson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 149 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 45 on 2nd down, Jones. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he is not going anywhere. He will not even get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning.
Brings up 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. He'll send this up into the Nashville skyline, and it's a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And the Titans getting set to go. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's taken down back at his own 7. Matthew Judon in there to take him down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Bind and nowhere to go. He goes down to the turf in the end zone. Tannehill taken down for the safety.
Right now, they're just trying to get to halftime because they need a break. This game, it's been a shellacking in every way, and they just got driven backwards for a safety.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is fielded inside the 5. Possession back to the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson headed out with the offense. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. The loss results there.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On third down, here's Stevenson. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Moore on the return. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Here we go.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. Looks like somebody's ready to begin the regular season, skipping over halftime here in the final game of the preseason. Third quarter, here we go. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Here's 2nd and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Throwing to start the drive, Jones. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On the counter, it's Stevenson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Boy, 175 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And what in the world? Not sure if he just heard a whistle there or what, but for some reason he spiked the football.
Here we go.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Jones. Open man, that's Henry. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that's going to make it 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Returning it is Moore. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense set to go again. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this 3rd quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the 2nd half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the 3rd quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
And give them 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Here you go, right here.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Now Tannehill. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Tannehill's throw pulled in by Hopkins. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
3rd and 3.
To the air again, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. And the busy night for Henry continues. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and a yard. Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. Throw left side complete. That's Moore. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. It'll be a gain of 5. And it's 2nd down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Tannehill on 3rd down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Fine work by the Patriot D there, and it's 4th down.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
They'll run for it with Henry. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Derrick Henry denied here on 4th down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. The drive starts with a carry by Stevenson. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. We've seen that before. Jeffrey Simmons making a stop behind the line. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And taken right on the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field.
Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. To throw is Tannehill. They set up the screen for Henry. Able to push his way through. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
New England's offense set to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
At the 41-yard line.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Up the middle, here's Stevenson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now Jones. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Throwing Jones. This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 17-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Straight ahead at Stevenson. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another.
Touchdown, Patriots! Devontae Parker, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Patriots have got it on cruise control. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
On for the extra point is Folk. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And Devontae Parker able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Let's go, man. Rock and roll.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and out of room. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. To the right side, this is Stevenson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The Patriots send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Levis. Throw here taken in by Wiley, the tight end. And he'll be out right at the 35. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end.
Levis in trouble. Down he goes. This is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Levis. Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now here's Levis now on 3rd and long.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time.
CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. And this has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
A throw over the middle taken in, and he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards there, a big one.
Well, my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Slot man moves right.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. Boy, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. Now we'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment.
1st down. Here's the run with Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
J.J. Taylor
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Patriots add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th.
Now Folk for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run.
Nick Folk to kick off for New England.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
The Patriots going with a dime package here. 2 extra defensive backs on 3rd.
Levis from the gun.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack.
Anthony Jennings
able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
standing just about on his own goal line. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is brought in at the 21. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Patriots take over. New England trying to get a place on offense. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now Montgomery running right. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
That'll go as a pickup of 8. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Zappi going to bootleg out. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown! Mike Gesicki, 31 yards. And the Patriots extend their lead yet again. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Folk connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Levis now on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Levis on 3rd down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now a give running right is Montgomery. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here comes 3rd down at 7. Going play action here with Zappi. That is caught. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Give up the middle to Strong. Sheds off the tackle, and he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
1st and 10, Zappi. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Zappi looks to throw it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here, and no panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And that is no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
1st and 10. Here's Levis. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Levis to throw it. And he's going to go down. Back in his own 5-yard line. It's a sack.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. And now out come the Patriots.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now we're going to get a halt in the action because Ty Montgomery is shaken up.
Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. On 1st and 10, it's Strong. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Second down, here's Strong once more.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, here's Strong.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team